In this episode, I walk in the Blue Mountains near the town of Blackheath. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, my name is Just Mike, and welcome to Sensacious Hiatus, where I highlight my travels and share information with you on how I made those adventures happen. In my last two Blue Mountain videos, I visited the towns of Katoomba and Wentworth Falls, which gave me access to the southern part of the Blue Mountains. This time I go to the town of Blackheath, which got me to an entirely different part of the national park. Just like many other parts of the Blue Mountains, there are heaps of stone stairs and steep walking tracks. It also seems like no matter where you go in the Blue Mountains, you'll likely come across a beautiful waterfall at some point. This is Bridal Veil Falls, pretty close to Govet's Leap Lookout. This is the tallest single drop waterfall in the Blue Mountains, which I've heard is even more spectacular after a heavy rainfall. Blue Mountains are home to hanging swamps, which exist on steep hillsides and around the headwaters of creeks. They are extremely rare and are listed as an endangered ecological community. I was able to get really close to a crimson rosella parrot in this part of the Blue Mountains. I saw a lot of other wildlife there too, and if you saw my last two videos, then you know I've already seen a goanna and some cockatoos, but I also saw a ton of these eastern water skinks. Honestly, these dudes startled me several times as they darted out from underneath a rock that I was about to step on. I also want to mention the sugar glider, as they are native to the Blue Mountains, but since they're nocturnal, they can be difficult to see in the wild. I just felt the need to mention them because I think they're awesome. So after bringing in the new year and this beautiful park, I headed back into Sydney to find work. Since I was really low on funds when I entered Australia, I knew going into this that I would need to get working as soon as possible. And I ended up taking a job as a video editor for an Australian law firm in the CBD, which was a 6-month contract position, and it was a good old 9 to 5, which is kind of rare to find in the video editing realm, but it was great. I ended up meeting a lot of great, hardworking people, and I learned a lot while I was working there. I am going to make a video where I give some tips on how to find work on a work and holiday visa, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested. But going back to the subject of the Blue Mountains, they sort of became like a weekend getaway for me while I was living and working in Sydney. And it was just so simple to get there. I could take the train, and it would be an easy 30-minute walk through a small town to get to a trailhead. I highly recommend visiting the Blue Mountains if you find yourself in Australia. I will be highlighting another trip that I made to the Blue Mountains in a future video, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and that is going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.